So welcome. We are here at DevOps Speakeasy at JFocus 2023. I'm super happy of having Jonas Mayer here with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So thank you for being here.
Yeah, it's been a blast so far. It's fantastic.
Yes, this is the first day.
Yeah,
So is this your first JFocus?
it's my first JFocus, first conference in Sweden. I'm so stoked to be here because, yeah, Sweden has it's very close to my heart, and I'm happy to finally be here.
Well, then this is one of my favorite conferences and I think you are enjoying it a lot. So I'm super happy about that.
Mm.
So tell me about your presentation.
Yeah, so today we talked about real-time deepfakes
Uh-huh.
and just the challenge, so basically explaining what a deepfake is, and then telling the story how we pushed them from being like an offline thing to a real-time application that you can just use to swap out your face to whomever you want to be. And then also talking about the implications that this has for a digital remote working kind of world where you can just join any Zoom call as any person now all of a sudden.
Yes.
And so, yeah, that's a very interesting discussion to be had right there. And we had our talk just like an hour ago, and it went great. A lot of very interested people there, so that was pretty cool.
Questions and everything.
Yeah, yeah. And like, I don't know, 300, 350 people in the
That's
room.
amazing.
That was...
Congratulations,
Yeah,
Dad.
no, it was a great time.
Yeah, okay. And why did you come up with this particular topic? What made
Yeah.
you?
That's a very good question. So we've been involved with, well, deepfakes have been around for like ever, kind of, since they emerged in like 2017. And back then, what you could see is like you had these deepfakes where you would just swap out facial areas in like in a video as like a post-processing effect. And we had always been very keen on like the neural networks, machine learning side of things. So what we wanted to do is just to explore how far can we push this, right?
Okay.
Because we are a software consulting company, we do all kinds of stuff. But one of the topics that we pride ourselves very much in are the innovative projects that we find that most of the time it makes sense for us to kind of learn the skills before any kind of customer asks for them.
Okay.
And so that was just like one of the play projects that we chose to just see how exactly deepfakes work under the hood and familiarize us with that and just see how far we can push it.
Okay.
And we did that in the first prototype in 2019, I believe.
Okay. So.
And that was like put together very, very quickly in like 3 months or so. And it worked surprisingly well. Like it definitely had some problems. One of them being like faces were distorted and the performance wasn't quite where we expected it. But that kind of just gave us the motivation to just keep pushing until we finally got to a point where we thought, wow, this is actually really scary.
Really, okay, so it's really convincing. How do you think? What is your take on the technology as it is right now?
So, I mean, deepfakes are, at this point in time, they're at a point where you could just be in a Zoom conference and the person talking to you might just be a deepfake. Like, you cannot tell, and what helps that is that most Zoom calls are going to be like way compressed when it comes to image quality, right? So that's the state of that, and that's also why a big part of our talk kind of focuses on how do we, as a society or as a company, how do we deal with that threat?
Exactly.
And the conclusion that we come to is, well, we kind of had the same issue a couple of years back when Photoshop was introduced.
Yes.
Because then everyone was thinking, oh my God, now we can't trust images anymore. The world is going to end, basically. And it turns out the world didn't end because people just, there was this meme at the time where it said like, well, this might be shopped. So because people just started thinking about, well, how is this image actually what it says it is, or might this be manipulated in one way or another? And we're thinking that this is the same kind of mindset that we have to pick up when it comes to deepfakes. And just for AI in general, one thing that we've been observing over the last couple of months is like an absolute explosion when it comes to like industry-ready applications that you can use today. Like everyone has seen all those text-to-image generators.
Yes.
Everyone has heard of ChatGPT, and by that I mean literally everyone.
Like Comet and Dolly. I mean, Comet and Dolly came into the market or into the public, and nobody noticed. But with ChatGPT, everybody's talking about it.
Exactly. And now all of these things are there, and the cool thing is because we've been kind of tracking. Also, like not just deepfakes, but like quite a lot of AI applications. We've seen where they come from. We've seen what technology is underneath that. So Yeah, that's just really interesting to see a product finally be publicly available and everyone getting their hands on them and everyone not being completely disappointed by it. So that's
Exactly. I think at this point we are all very, very excited about what we can achieve right now.
mm,
But also for me, it's what do you think? Like, what do you think the technology is taking us towards? Like, do we have a lot to move on that direction? Or do you think,
yeah, sure. I guess like when it comes to AI in general and like just digitalization and getting things like that done, I think we're just at the start. Like we're seeing right now the potential of many systems, but obviously a lot of work has to be put in still to make like these nice proof of concepts where everyone can just play around with ChatGPT into like actual products that change. Well, it sounds a bit dramatic when you say like the way that we interact with each other in the internet on our day-to-day lives, but um, essentially the way I see it is that AI is just going to be an integral part of our everyday lives, like boring tasks that we don't really feel like doing. All of those are hopefully going to be replaced by some AI stuff, and we're seeing it right now with like just question answering for like some really basic questions. You can have an AI that answers that right now, and I think that's just going to be increasingly important in well in our everyday lives, and we're just going to have assistants that take over the boring parts of our
mhm, mhm,
life, and that's I think a really great thing.
good. Well, any final thoughts that you have about your session or the technology you were talking about that you want to share with our audience?
Well, good question. I mean, I think many people think AI is just like a buzzword or some like weird concept, but what a lot of people have to understand, it's like an actual technology and it's there and it's kind of there to stay. It's not going to go away anywhere. And first step kind of is to know about it, to know
Exactly.
what it's capable of doing, and also to understand that it can't fix everything and anything. That it's just going to be yet another assistant system that we're going to use to improve our lives, and that's basically the best takeaway that I can give you right now. Look out
No,
for AI.
and that's perfect. I mean, sometimes we misunderstand what the models, for example, are trained to do,
Right.
and we extrapolate or sometimes do false assumptions in
Yeah.
what it's capable to do.
Exactly.
Yes. But it was super interesting. I will catch your recorded session when it's published.
Hmm.
And thank you very much for being here.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.